Watch your mouths. Don't start swearing in here. I'm as serious as a heart attack now. Stop it.
We go to Trenton, Michigan for a hearing. 84-year-old Donald Pittaway has filed a complaint against his 53-year-old son, Ronald Pittaway, to have him evicted from his home. Donald and his older son, 56-year-old Donald Jr., who also lives in the house, claimed that Ronald has not been paying rent and that he has a second home in another part of town. And in an effort to keep Ronald out of the house, Ronald claims Donald and Donald have changed the locks. Today, the three Pittaways appear before Judge Michael McNally to try to reach a resolution.
Who owns this home? You own this home?
Yes.
And you're Donald Pittaway Sr., right?
Yes.
Do you live there?
That's my residence, yes.
You're his son?
Yes.
Well, this isn't very fun.
Exactly.
Why aren't you just moving out of the house?
Sir, my property's there, and I have money invested in that house, and they're trying to take it. It's my brother. I got about $30,000. Who else will do that for their father, sir?
Oh.
Not this deadbeat who's got my dad broke.
Hang on. Watch your mouths. Now listen, don't start swearing in here. I'm as serious as a heart attack now. Stop it.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a lease with him?
A red lease, sir.
I'm talking to your dad. You can't be his representative here. I cannot allow people to engage in the unauthorized practice of law, and that's what you're doing right now. You're not a lawyer, and you can't represent him. Period. What do you mean you put $30,000 into the house?
I got the receipts. I put a whole back patio.
You put in a back patio?
All brick pavers, 2 fireplaces, a hot tub. I did it for my mother.
Is your mother still alive?
No, she passed away.
Do you have anything in writing that says your father, Don Pittaway Sr. here, agreed to pay you? Yes or no?
No.
You have anything in writing from your mother saying she agreed to pay you?
Anything I did.
Yes or no?
No.
How are you gonna win this? How much you been paying in rent?
$50 a week, just like he paid. And everything I put into the house, my dad said would be taken off my rent.
Have you been paying your father $50 a week?
And he just took like $500 on my bank account.
No.
They take more than.
Wait. You have this terrible habit of interrupting me. Has he been paying you $50 a week?
No.
Oh, how do families get this angry at one another?
By now, Judge McNally seems to have heard enough.
I'm adjourning this case 1 week. I find this incredibly sad. How many dads you got?
1.
Okay. Stop acting like children.
The case was adjourned, and 3 weeks later, both parties agreed to dismiss the case and figure out a resolution outside of court.
I know how serious this is. I know. That's why I tried to contact.
We're in Houston, Texas for a bond violation hearing. 30-year-old Adrian Lumumba has been charged with driving while intoxicated. 4 months earlier, Lumumba was arrested for the crime and released on a $100 bond. But then, a month later, he was arrested a second time for DWI and released on a new $2,000 bond, this time with several conditions, including a strict curfew, no drugs or alcohol, and no driving a vehicle. But when Lumumba violated his probation by staying out past his curfew, he was ordered back to court. Today, he appears alongside his attorney, Wilmer Boutte, before Judge David Fleischer to hear if his bond will be revoked and if he'll be sent to jail.
I'm so upset with you right now, where you think you can do whatever you want to do when you have two open DWIs. And I told you there was absolutely no tolerance. And here you go, I'm gonna do whatever I want. Don't work like that, Mr. Lumumba. You need to ask for permission first.
I sent an email to my probation officer to ask.
You don't have a probation officer. You have bond conditions that you are supposed to live up to.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
You know well and good what you can and cannot do. And you are still doing whatever you want to do. When people do that to me, your sorry goes in this ear and it goes that out that ear. Because I know you will continue to act the way you want to act.
I know how serious this is. I know. That's why I tried to contact. I can promise you.
You've already promised me 2 times before. I don't believe you. I think that what you did was that, you know what, I'm gonna send an email and I'm gonna go do what I wanna do. That's basically what I think.
No, I don't. I'm not playing with this. I am not playing around. I'm taking it very serious, sir.
It goes with you.
Okay, just wait. Oh my God.
Mr. Boutte, we'll talk. Don't go far.
Later that day, when Judge Fleischer recalls the case, Lumumba's attorney speaks on behalf of his client.
Like I said, Judge, I speak with him often. He has been taking this really seriously. He just made a bad mistake.
We all make mistakes. We all do things that we regret. Crap, my mouth gets me into so much trouble you cannot even believe. I will continue your supervision. Just please don't, okay? If you ever need anything else, just come back, let us know. We can help you. Don't ask for forgiveness after the fact. Just come back here first. Contrary to popular belief, we're not that bad. Please don't again, all right?
Thank you, Judge.
Lumumba was released and 4 months later took a deal, pleading guilty to 1 DWI charge while the other was dismissed. He was sentenced to 15 months probation. He has to use an ignition interlock device in his vehicle and complete a driving class. Next, we go to Beaumont, Texas for a plea hearing. 40-year-old Crystal Vogan has been charged with theft. 2 years earlier, police say Vogan, who has a criminal history with multiple convictions for theft and forgery, entered a bank and withdrew $10,000 using someone else's identification. Vogan was arrested, charged, and released on $50 bond. The state has offered her a deal where, if she pleads guilty, she'll be sentenced to 4 years deferred probation and ordered to pay a $1,000 fine plus $9,400 in restitution. Today, Vogan appears with her attorney, Marvin Lewis, before Judge Raquel West to enter her plea and hear her sentence. The state is represented by prosecutor Preston Hoffpower, who appears just off camera.
There's a lot of history, we understand, Your Honor. But we'll make sure the court knows the restitution, most of the main issue we're looking at, get some of that money back.
I've got 1, 2, 3 and a quarter pages of criminal history. Well, there's a lot of stuff that wasn't dismissed. There were 14 felonies that weren't dismissed. I understand the restitution, but there's... All right, so here's what I'm going to do, Ms. Vogan. I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty.
The judge seems to be struggling over whether to approve the plea deal by offering the defendant deferred probation.
I just don't know. I just can't believe I'm even considering doing this, honestly. I'm not. I can't. There's no way. It has to be straight probation. I'm rejecting the plea agreement. I'm resetting your case for 3 weeks. You're at, ma'am.
What?
This is not going to help.
It don't matter. My life's on that.
Well, looks like you did that, not me. I'll see you in 3 weeks.
On her way out of the courtroom, Vogan makes a rude comment to her attorney.
Come on, hold on, get her, don't let her go. Come back. Everybody heard it.
That's what my lawyer did.
You don't talk like that to anybody in this case because he didn't do this either, you did. He did a great job. I'm gonna find at this time that your bond is not sufficient because of your attitude and because of your criminal, because of your,
I gotta go to work. So I'm gonna lose my job and everything too?
Well, maybe you shouldn't cuss at your lawyer. Maybe you shouldn't have this attitude here in the courtroom. I'm going to raise your bond. Don't cry now after saying it's bull to him and acting like this in here. Stop. No, you're going to make it worse. All right, I'm going to set your bond at $25,000. Go back with the bailiff.
The next day, Vogan pled guilty and was sentenced to 2 years in jail, plus, upon her release, 5 years probation. She was also ordered to pay $10,000 in restitution and $422 in court costs. Next, we're in Ypsilanti, Michigan for a pretrial hearing. 32-year-old Mason Hurst has been charged with indecent exposure. 3 years earlier, Hurst was busted for exposing himself in public. He was cited and ordered to appear in court, but when he didn't show, a warrant was issued for his arrest. A year later, Hurst was taken into custody, and a plea of not guilty entered on his behalf. He was released on a $100 bond, and today he appears before Judge Elaine Washington to discuss next steps in the case. The prosecutor is Tiffany Woods. Hurst is represented by public defender Matthew Mansour.
All right, we're here for a pretrial in this matter. What is the status of that, please?
I was just going to request an adjournment.
While his attorney requests to push the hearing to a later date, Hurst seems to be a little preoccupied, and the judge takes notice.
Mr. Hurst, are you rolling a joint at this moment?
No, this is tobacco. I have a whole pouch of tobacco. Here, let me grab it for you. Here. I smoke tobacco.
Appropriate time for you to do that.
Oh, no, I was already in the midst of it.
Sir, you are in court. Stop it.
Ma'am, I was already in the midst of it, and I just turned my phone on, and I saw that was my time up.
Okay, all right. Mr. Hurst is going to be held in contempt of court since he just decided he was not going to stop.
No, I'm rolling a cigarette.
I don't care what you're rolling, you're in court.
I'll put it down.
Mr. Mansour, your client continued to roll a joint or tobacco or whatever he was rolling, despite the court's order to stop doing so until he was completely done and decided that he would stop at that point. When he was done, he would put it down. So he is in contempt of court. He'll be here in person next time.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. When will this in-person date be?
I'm going to give you that in a second, sir.
All right, thank you.
A month later, Hurst appeared in person at his next hearing, and the judge dropped the contempt charge. But when he failed to show at subsequent hearings, another warrant was issued for his arrest. He was taken into custody and then released on a new $20,000 bond. His case is pending. Next, we head to Conneaut, Ohio for a sentence compliance hearing. 25-year-old Marcus Braden has been convicted of attempted breaking and entering. 8 months earlier, Braden broke into a local Elks Club. He was arrested and charged with breaking and entering. Braden later pled guilty to the lesser charge and was sentenced to 180 days in jail, which was suspended. Braden was ordered to complete 100 hours of community service, pay restitution, fines, and court costs, and find and maintain full-time employment. Today, he appears without an attorney before Judge Nicholas Irochi to follow up on his sentencing conditions. But first, the judge checks in with Braden's probation officer, who's off camera.
Officer Benoit, can you outline how Mr. Braden is doing?
Yes, Your Honor. He's completed the 100 hours of community work service. He's currently working as of approximately 2 weeks ago at Franco's Pizza. No payments on his fines or restitution. He still owes $401 to the Elks Club, Your Honor.
Help me understand, in 5.5 months to pay all fines and costs and make restitution. And not one payment has been made. Help me understand why.
Your Honor, I haven't been able to accumulate any extra money to bring to the courthouse. Everything that I've been trying to save up just gets spread within my family.
How many hours a week are you working at Franco's?
About 16.
What employment have you had since I sentenced you on January 13th?
All right, Arthur Lewis Steel.
How long did you work there?
For 1 week.
Why are you no longer working there?
I had an appointment with my doctor and I couldn't get it done on time.
So you were terminated?
Yes.
When's your next appointment?
It was at King Luminaire in Jefferson.
How long did you work there?
2 days.
Why did you leave after 2 days?
The hours were not working out with my family.
So you quit?
Yes.
You know, I don't want to hear it. What do you think, this is a game?
You pled to a misdemeanor in this case. And I put you on supervised probation with certain conditions, one of which was to obtain and maintain employment, because you have financial responsibilities in this case to the victim whose business you broke into to commit a theft, and to this court for fines and costs. Mr. Braden, let me make very clear to you, I am not a happy guy right now.
Judge Irochi moves on to discuss a request that Braden has made regarding his fines and court costs.
Are you requesting to be able to perform community work service in lieu of your fines and costs?
Yes.
Well, that request, as required by law, is granted. But you have to pay restitution. And look, I'm not being critical of Franco's Pizza, but a 16-hour-a-week job is not employment. I'm talking about full-time, gainful employment.
Yes, sir.
To satisfy his $857 in fines and court costs, Braden was ordered to perform 94 hours of community service. He was also ordered to pay the $401 in restitution to the Elks Club, which he did.